Hi, Mick here. Just want to do a video now. As you may or may not know, I used to be running a business called Velvet Photography, and I was mainly a wedding photographer. I shut the business down maybe 4 or 5 months ago now, and I haven't done a single shoot. So I've had some time to think about it, and how do I feel about it? Well, I feel pretty good about it, mainly because I finally feel free. I feel I lost the passion for the craft, and especially my last handful of clients, they were all quite demanding. And when I say clients, I mean brides. I've dealt with some self-indulgent people in my time, but my last handful of clients were verging on being narcissistic, and upon reflection, I think the majority of the modern bride is a narcissist. And the only reason why people have themed weddings and weddings with looks is to indulge their ego and not much more. I think the fact that they're getting married is irrelevant. Most of my clients had been living together for quite some time. It just seemed like something new to do. They got the dog, they got the house, they got the baby on the way. Hey, let's get married. I've got a great idea. Let's do a themed wedding. And you know, Sarah's wedding we went to, mine's going to be greater than hers. And this is what I was experiencing, and this is what I was experiencing, and I'm having to be there for great lengths of time. A photographer is privy to a lot of conversation. A photographer sees and hears things that comes out of a bride's mouth, even though they may be whispering. We're there, we're right next to the brides, and we're taking photos, and we're learning, and we're taking note. And for me and my experiences, it was just getting to the point where I was just another spoke in the wheel. I was just another lackey, regardless of how creative I was feeling or how creative I am. It just really was demeaning. I really feel that I've been prostituting myself out for the last few years and kidding myself, thinking, no, I feel good doing this. This makes me feel good. And just like the prostitute who convinces herself that what she's doing is for a better cause or for a greater cause, or it's something that she can live with. You know what? I can't deal with these brides. The superficiality of it all was just getting way too much. It was taking time away from my family and my son. He'd want to play with me, but no, Daddy's got to work on the computer, and Daddy's got to get these photos done. And for what? For a measly little fee that 8 times out of 10 had been haggled down for a few $100s. And my son is sitting on the floor away from me while I'm glued to my dual monitor setup, rushing out these photos. And for what? So I can wait 2 years before a bride gets back to me and says, is my album ready? And I'm going, well, no, I sent you an email. I'm waiting on you to pick them. Oh, I'm too busy. Do you think you could whip something up for me? And this was one of my most recent emails. I had a bride who waited 2.5 years before she got her album and her act together, and then she had the audacity of saying, because we didn't have the engagement shoot, do I still get that free canvas? And I'm going, well, it's like 2.5 years later. Well, no, I've forgotten about you. I still have 2 other clients. 3 years later, 3.5 years later, I haven't heard from them. I don't know, they still need to get in contact with me with an album, but everyone is too busy. What I see, the most common phrase in the emails they get from brides is, sorry, my life is so busy. The wedding photos album will have to sit on the back burner. That was a quote from a real email. And this is not this is not a one-off case. This is becoming more frequent. 5 years ago, not so frequent, but the last 2 years, ever so frequent. Again, I'm talking in my own experience and with my clients and my brides. So, do I feel great? Yeah, I do feel great. I feel free. I can pick up a camera. There it is. I can pick up my Fuji and I can just shoot. I'm not shooting to a schedule. I don't have a deadline. I can take photos of my family and my son. I can play around in Lightroom. I'm spending more time with my son. I seem a lot more relaxed, and my wife is particularly grateful that I am a lot more relaxed because my clients and the emails I'm receiving bring me nothing but grief. And running a wedding business and trying to be successful is checking emails, responding quickly to emails, dealing and smiling to self-indulgent douchebags who paid me for a service, so I'm more happy to do the service. But at the end of the day, it simply wasn't worth it for me. I'm good at what I do, I believe that, but I would rather give my services to no one than to haul myself out like I have been doing and receive very little gratification. My last client in particular, I thought it was one of my strongest weddings, and I was really creative. Be quiet, Lulu. And she was questioning the white of her dress. She was questioning so much about her photos and some of my nicest works. But what do I say? What do I do to these people? I give up, and that's what I have done. And for the last 4 months, I've felt as free as I can be. So yes, for me, Mick Savadio, I'm just a photographer, and I have a blog. It's just Mick Savadio Photographer now. I'm no longer Velvet Photography. Wedding photography sucks. Most brides are egomaniacs and narcissists, and the themed wedding isn't all it's cracked up to be. Theme weddings in particular reek of ego, and that's it. Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts while this was on my mind. I haven't done a video in a while, and I hope you will check out my next video. Anyway, I hope you'll share this with everyone. If you've got any questions, please leave a question in the comments, and I will get back to you. I'm pretty good like that. Anyway, thanks for listening. See you later.